Okay. So what is data science? Okay, then I'll talk about what we need to do. Okay. Now, can I ask you this question? 2468 dash. What would come after 8?
10.
And
10, right? Yes. And okay, so let me think about it. Okay, let me ask the next question, then we'll talk about it. What do you think will come after 12?
15, sir.
15. Okay. Now see here. The normal programming what you do, okay, is about giving you the input and giving you a formula and then asking you the output. So I'll give you 2 and 3. I'll ask you, okay, 2, 3 is your input, plus is the formula, give me the output. So you'll say 2 plus 3 equal to 5. Okay. That is the normal way of doing programming. Okay. And that is called deterministic. In terms of mathematics, we call it deterministic problems. Those deterministic problems, the solution is same forever. Okay, the solution cannot change. Okay, because plus has one meaning and 2 plus 3 will always be 5, whether you are it today or whenever. The second type of problem is where you have been given input and output. Okay, you have been given input and output both, and you are trying to understand the formula, the relationship between them. So here, if you see, we have input and output. Input is 2, output is 4. Input is 4, output is 6. Input is 6, output is 8. Now asking if input is 8, then what is output? Okay, so you say, okay, which is because you're adding 2 to it. Okay, so 2, 2 plus 2. 4, 4 plus 2. 6, 6 plus 2. 8, 8 plus 2. So this is called, okay, where we are asking the user to find the relationship. Okay, now this is easiest problem. Okay, probably the answer will not change, but let's increase our complexity. Okay, so let's say this is a land. Okay, and I bought this land. I had some money, so I thought, okay, I have money, so let me invest in the land. Okay, so that my money will grow. I bought this. Now, can you tell me on what factors my land price will increase?
Depending on the area.
Depending on the area, right? The service is distance from airport, bus stand, etc. Okay. Now you tell me, after 5 years, how much return can I expect from this land? If I buy this land for, let's say, 10 lakhs, after 5 years, what do you think the value of this land would be?
Maybe around
sorry,
13 or 14 lakhs.
sorry, did you say that?
Yes, I said yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I was predicting like maybe 40 lakhs
Okay.
because if there's an
So,
airport around it, the price just multiplies.
okay, great. Now, so see here, okay, this is your non-deterministic problems. Here we cannot even, okay. So what you are saying, whether it's 15 lakhs or 14 lakhs, you're talking about based on your experience, what you have seen, right? Someone who has no idea about real estate, who doesn't know what real estate is, right? Or the price increase or decreases, they may not have any opinion, right? Those who knows about this area, okay, has lived in this area and keeps track about the news in this area, probably that person will have a better accuracy in terms of predicting. Even that person will not be 100%. For 5 years, something might happen in 5 years and the price can become half as well, right? Or as you said, it can get 4 times, or development did not happen. So maybe let's say it increased to only 15 lakhs. So anything is possible. Okay. Now, when you're talking about it, okay, you are thinking in terms of what is the most, okay, probable situation. What is the most probable? Anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. It can become 100 times as well, right? If let's say, the chief minister of the state wants everything in that area, okay, their Vidhan Sabha, airport, railway station, everything. If they want, they announce, maybe it can become 100 times as well, right? But as you said, right? But then the situation here is you find as non-deterministic or probabilistic. You are thinking that this is the most probable value, right? You can say anything, right? From 10 lakh, you can say anything, right? 20, 50, 30, 100 crore, 5 crores, right? But whatever you told me is what you think is the most probable value, right? So such kind of problems. Okay, and here also you see you have input. Okay, and I'm asking you the output. The formula you are trying to derive it from your past experience, what you have seen, what you have known. So that relationship, we are looking at the past data. Okay, okay. In Samshabad, this is what happened. So okay, so this, if Samshabad happened 4 times, here also can expect 4 times, right? So yes, so you are using your past knowledge, what has already happened, right? And you are putting it on the input value. So there is no such output, sorry, there's no such formula, right? 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So output is based on your gut feeling, or I shouldn't say gut, that is wrong word, but on your understanding about the domain, about the business, about the problem, right? So it is not, you are not just doing gut feeling, random number. You are analyzing and you are thinking and then you're giving answer. So these are called as non-deterministic problems in mathematics, or probabilistic problems. Okay. So machine learning is all about probabilistic. We are thinking about forecasting. We're talking about what the value is going to be, right? So, so this is now probably you understand what you can expect in machine learning, right? What kind of problems you're going to solve. You're going to predict the value, you're going to forecast the value. You're going to predict what value would be. Okay. Another question could be, if I ask a 4-year-old and a 40-year-old, okay, whether it's going to rain tomorrow or not. Okay. So I'm going to ask 4-year and 40-year-old whether it's going to rain tomorrow or not. 40 years says yes, and 4 years says no. And let's say tomorrow it did not rain. Okay. Now, before giving you the answer, who do you think will you trust? 40-year-old or 4-year-old?
40-year-old, because
40-year-old.
40-year-old, because you assume that that person knows about the domain, knows about the weather better than 4-year-old. Okay, fine. But let's say next day, 4-year-old got it right. It rained. 40 years, okay, or maybe 40 years said it will rain, and 4 years said no, it will not rain, and it did not rain. 4 years got right. So for next prediction, who will you trust? 40-year-old or 4-year-old?
The 4-year-old still, because
4-year-old?
yeah,
No, sir.
40-year-old.
40-year-old? Still
Yeah,
Yes.
he got it right. Sorry, he got it wrong last time. Still you're going to predict.
Yeah, but he will still have more experience than the 4-year-old, right?
Right.
Okay?
Okay? Because 40-year-old has more data, right? So even if you get it wrong one time, doesn't mean that that person is not doesn't know. It can happen, by randomness also it can happen. Okay?
Chance.
By chance, right? So we still believe 40-year-old because we think that 40-year-old has good
More
experience. Yeah, even if he gets 1 or 2 times wrong, even then we will start trusting. Same thing happens with machine learning. Machine learning is not, see, whenever you talk about future, right, there's always an element of uncertainty. Okay, we can never ever predict 100%. We can be close. We can be 99% close, 90% close, 80% close, 70% close, but we cannot be 100%, right? And that's what we have to understand when we talk about futuristic future. We're talking about what is the most probable chance. Okay, so the 40-year-old would have done on the calculation and say that okay, probably rain has 70% chance and 30% of no chance. That's why, because the probability is more than 50%, he told you it's going to rain, right? But there is always that 30% not raining, and it can happen that 30% is there. So that's the kind of situation we deal with machine learning. So that's the kind of problem we deal in machine learning. Okay, and you can learn data science. Okay, instead of saying without any background, I should say with any background. Okay, because your past experience is useful. Okay, so it doesn't matter which domain you are in, because machine learning is used in all the domains. Okay, so your background will definitely help you. This slide, I always talk about, whenever I talk about data science, I always talk about this slide. World's largest retailer. Okay? Retailer, I guess you all know, right? The retailer is the company that buys from manufacturer and sells to the consumer, right? You have Big Bazaar, Ratan Dev, Spar, and those are your retailers, right? So they buy in bulk and they sell to. Amazon is the world's largest retailer, amount of business Amazon does is far more than, even if you talk about the Walmart, the top retailers who are running business in store. Amazon is world's largest retailer. Uber is world's largest taxi company. World's biggest taxi company in today's world is Uber. Okay, Airbnb has the world's largest hotel. In our India, Swiggy has the largest food delivery. They deliver food more than any restaurant can do. So they are the largest restaurant. But the question is, how many restaurants Swiggy owns? Zero. How many taxi Uber owns? Zero. How many hotels Airbnb owns? Zero. How many product Amazon owns? Zero. Amazon doesn't own any product. It's like sellers will go to the Amazon platform and they sell. So when you buy, you're buying from a seller, okay, but through Amazon. Uber, you are connecting to a taxi company through Uber. Swiggy, you're connecting to a restaurant through Swiggy, right? So if you see here from domain perspective, Amazon largest retailer, Swiggy largest restaurant in India, but they do not own any product. They do not own any restaurant. What they do, they manage data. Right? So in today's world, okay, the companies that are doing good, and of course, these are your favorite companies to join. If they offer you, you will be, you will not decline, you will not think even twice to join such companies. Why are these preferred choice for people to join, work for them? Of course, the kind of work they are doing, right? Now they would need people. Amazon would need people with a real background. Swiggy would need people who understand the domain of food, okay? Because ultimately they have to, build business around it. So they would need people with that kind of background. So it doesn't matter what background you come from. You always have, chance to make big in this data analytics world. And if you ask me why, how, look at these companies. They are big just by managing data. Okay. So today's world, we are only talking about data. I'm not going to go too much into this slide. What this says is we have a lot of data that is getting created every day. Okay. 2%, sorry, 10% of data, 10% of entire data. If you look at our human history, probably we are on this planet for more than 30, 40,000 years old, right? The amount of data that we have created in last 2 years is 90%. What we have created for entire 30,000 years, just 10%. So we are creating a lot of data every day. Okay? Now, why we are creating? Because of internet, because of the low cost of hard disk. People who have in 30s, they can definitely tell you the price of hard disk 10 years back. Okay? 10 years back, it was, you can't believe that, the one TV, forget about the cost, okay? You won't believe that the one TV hard disk can come. We used to buy 100 GB, 200 GB, 300 GB, and the cost was same 4,000, 5,000 rupees was the cost. Now the cost remains same, but the power has gone up, right? 100 GB has become 2 TB hard disk now. So the cost of storage, cost of hard disk has come down, and because of internet, it is easy to capture data. Google, by sitting in the US head office, they can capture all our data from our Android phones. Right, so is the case with Apple. They capture all our keystroke, all where we go, what we do, what we talk. Okay, by sitting there. So it's not because of internet. Internet and low cost of hard disk has actually revolutionized, the world that we live in. And we have so many social media now. How do you think that Facebook makes money? If you see, Facebook doesn't sell anything, right? And you can upload your photo, videos, text message every day. Crores of people, millions of people across the world are connected to Facebook at the same time. If Facebook doesn't work for a few seconds, it becomes international news. Facebook was down for a minute, right? It becomes international news. We upload 10 million, which is like 1 crore photos every hour. Imagine. So Facebook has invested so much, right? What benefit are they getting? How are they making money, right? Crores. I mean, it is. You can imagine the cost that Facebook has to spend, on the salaries, on maintenance of the infrastructure, internet, hard disk, right? How are they managing all these costs? How are they making money? They're making money from our data. Okay? You will see some advertisements, okay, which is shown only to you. Okay, by sharing all your data, Facebook knows more about you than what you know about yourself. Facebook knows more about you than what you know about yourself. You may not know what kind of dress you like. Okay, but Facebook, by looking at your photos, they can tell you this person likes this kind of dress. Okay, and that information will be shared with the retailers. Okay, that's how you're getting. Okay, see, if your friends post, you can see that's not a problem. But posts which are not by your friend, those are shown to you, and most of the time you like them, right? How? Because Facebook knows what you like, what the dislikes are, and based on that, it is going and getting the information and data for you. Okay, and showing that relevant ads, relevant information to you, and that's how they make money. Right? They make some 50 paisa or 30 paisa by showing the ad to you. That 30 paisa becomes billion of dollars for them. Okay, so that's where. Okay, so you are getting a lot of data. Okay, now how do you make data? Companies like Google, Facebook, they know how to make money, right? But not all companies have been able to make money. They are capturing data, they have the data, they know data is new oil. It means just like the Gulf countries, they have become so rich in last 50 years or 70 years because they found oil, right? And they became rich overnight. So what we're saying is everybody is saying, right? I think even Ambani also, Mukesh Ambani also said it. Data is going to be new oil. They are offering new services at low cost and return by getting the data from you. Okay, and the data they are using to sell back the product to you. Okay, so that's where the data science comes in. You have the data, okay, but how do you make insight? How do you make business out of it? We have to apply science on it. Okay, and later we'll see that it's not just science. There's a lot of art also in it. Okay, selling is an art, right? So first you have to apply science in the data, get those insights, then you have to sell it, right? So art comes in. So data science, when we talk about domain and we talk about all these aspects. Okay. Any questions so far? Is it clear? You're able to hear me clearly. You're able to understand things clearly.
Clear, sir.
Okay, great. So as I said, data science. Okay, there is two words. It's about data and it's about science. I'm not going to talk about all these things. I'm sure you would have done these things before. Okay. The application of data science, right? So people are able to predict the stock prices to a certain extent. Okay, I'm sure most of you would be using Gmail. Even if you're not using Gmail, there are other service partners. They also have this folder, spam folder and inbox folder. Gmail has promotion and every email that comes to your inbox. This machine learning, the machine learning algorithm, which is sitting at the email server of Google or Reddit or Yahoo Mail or whatever mail service you're using, they are trying to read your email and trying to classify, they're trying to group whether should it be sent to the spam folder. Okay, so when you say read, you don't have any person reading, so even if you're confidential or this thing, but so the information is not leaked, they're not sharing you the information. But yes, machine is reading your email before you get it. And they are deciding whether it should be added to your inbox or spam or to your social or to your promotion page, right? That's what we call it as spam detection. Okay, then you have recommendation system. Okay, tons of examples we do later when we go along. But I just want to give you some brief intro so that you know what are the applications of data science. Recommendation system. Okay, you log into a website and you see some ads in the website, and those ads are relevant to what you are thinking, right? How is that possible that what you think? I don't know if you have seen these ads. I've seen this Google ads, okay, where this fellow shouts, sees a cockroach and shouts cockroach, and suddenly he sees ads of pest control in the area, isn't it? So you have not only Google search, you just shouted, and your Android captured your shout cockroach and suddenly they are showing you the pest control ad. I think, I don't know, have you seen that ad? I don't know how many of you have seen it. Okay, so Google is able to predict what services you're going to need, right? And then showing you recommending you the best control. That's the recommendation. Okay. Now, online advantage is that you have tons of choices. Okay. Of course, when you go to buy a shirt at store, you'll probably have 20 varieties. Okay. But if you go to Amazon, you have 2,000 varieties. Okay, you have, that's the advantage. But disadvantage is it's also time consuming to go through those 2,000 varieties, isn't it? I'm sure if you don't find your shirt in first 2-3 pages, you will close the Amazon. You are not going to spend 5 hours just searching for a shirt, isn't it? So it is challenge for Amazon and Flipkart to show you the product of your choice, the product that you like. So when you search for a shirt, it has to show you. So the recommendation that is going to be made will be different for you. It is more from individual perspective. What you like. They're not going to show same shirt to me and to you, right? Our tastes are different. Okay, so it will study the input, okay, parameters and predict what you would like. And out of those 2,000 shirts, it's going to show you those 20 shirts or 10 shirts only. Of course, if you don't like those 20 shirts, you can visit 21st shirts as well. But first 5, first 10, first 20 is important. If you don't find your things in first 20, very rarely you will go down. If you don't find it, you'll probably say, okay, let me go to the nearest retail store and buy my shirt. Right? So that is important. So, okay, that's what we call as recommendation system. Recommendation system is trying to understand your behavior, your buying pattern, okay, your buying behavior, and then recommend what would you be possibly buy. So there's a good video on YouTube. After the class, you can go and search. Okay, there's a video by Amazon. It's called yesterday's shipping. Yesterday's shipping. Okay, so what it says is whatever you're going to buy today, we have shipped it yesterday only. Okay, so how does that happen? Possible. Okay, and mostly if you see, Amazon has mastered it, not so much with Flipkart. When you log into a system, okay, you have this Prime thing, right? And you're getting product within 1 day. Okay, within some products are within 3 hours, 4 hours. How can they deliver a product? Amazon kind of company order a product in 2 hours or 3 hours in 1 day. Okay, because they are trying constantly, see, okay, demand of the product. So let's say there's a seller sitting in Kolkata. Okay, seller has the product and the person is sitting in Kolkata and selling. Now, when Amazon sees that most of the demand coming from Hyderabad, most of the people from Hyderabad, they are buying that product from Kolkata. What it does, it predict how many products more will be ordered in Hyderabad. Okay, and they will get into their Hyderabad distribution center. They'll say, okay, I'm expecting 1,000 products to be sold in next month. Let me order 1,000 products from Kolkata and put it Kolkata warehouse to Hyderabad warehouse. So now when you search, the product is already in Hyderabad warehouse. So it's just about delivering from warehouse to your place, which will be 2 hours. Okay, so Amazon is able to predict. Okay, now they call it as yesterday shipping, but it's not actually. The information is not exactly the shipping to your address, but shipping to address closer to you, because they know that demand will be from Amazon. Now, if you ask me these questions, I easily answer the human being. Easily answer. Why do we need data science? We cannot track 1 crore customer that Amazon has. We can do something for 1 customer, 2 customers, but we cannot do something like this for 1 crore, right? We need automation. We need algorithm that is designed. So whatever we just discussed, same thing. It's not we are not doing anything very difficult, but we are automating the human thinking. The way we think, we are trying to automate it. Okay, the key here is the way we think. Okay, it's not 2 plus 3, of course. Okay, we have to find the pattern, read the pattern, and each pattern is different for each individual. Right? So we are going to do that using data science. All good so far? Is it clear? Did are you getting some new information?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Actually, this ad concept we have observed, sir. Whenever we are searching for something,
Yeah.
automatically many searches related to those things turn up.
Exactly.
Ads related to, yeah, we used to think, this is so nice. Once we start searching for a particular product, we keep on observing those continuously. That happens even with Google or Amazon also.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it happens because they are trying to guess what you want and then
Yes.
they market. Okay.
Yes.
That's how these internet companies, the social media companies make money. They give
Yes.
you, everything for free. And in return, they want to know your interest. They want to know what you're doing. See, first of all, your product has to be great. That's no doubt. The second thing is your product has to reach to the right audience. Even people who are interested. Let's say if you write an article on politics, you need people who loves politics to read your article. If you have written an article on sports, you want people who are in sports to read your article, right? So you have written a great article, but people don't know about it. Okay, if the article has to reach to the perfect audience, and most of the you would have noticed that when the Android phone users and so even the iOS phone user, they have this Google. When you click on Google, it'll give you those related news based on your input. There are thousands of things happening in the world, but they pick 10, okay, from those things and show it to you based on your interest. And as you use more and more, okay, maybe if you bought a new phone, let's say you were logging to the phone for the first time using a smartphone, Google may not have a lot of data. So it might just give some random data, okay, or maybe just top articles. But when they see that what you're clicking, okay, they might give you 10 and you don't click anything. So they will replace them with something else. Now you're clicking on one. That's a message to Google. Oh, this fellow likes this kind of article. Next time onwards, the Google is going to give you similar articles. More you read, more information they will have about you, and they will give you relevant articles. That's what you see these applications. More and more you use, more and more better the algorithms get. Their accuracy will increase, and you will get product of your choice. Okay, so yes, of course, people complain about privacy and data intrusion and things like that. Okay, there is a positive side as well. If you do not want, you don't use it, right? But it is going to make our life easy. Today's busy world, right? These things help us, right? If you're able to see, yeah, if you have a threat, right, the terrorist might know your location, might know your interest, and they can track you. Yes, but otherwise, if you see, apart from that, okay, it's all benefit, isn't it? If I log into Amazon, if Amazon gives me the first better search, my shopping will be done in a minute, right? I will not have to spend half an hour to find my shirt, right? So yes, so there are a lot of advantages as well. Okay, so yeah, you choose between data privacy and option that you have. But we're talking from a business perspective. Okay, assuming that we are the seller, we want to reach to the right audience. So our article now, many times it happens. You write a book, okay, and your family friends will say very good, but they will not buy your book because that book is not of interest for them. Just because they're your friends and family, they're not going to buy your product. Okay, I'm just giving an example of book. It could be anything. Let's say you build a new chocolate, you start a restaurant, you start any business. Your family and friends probably come one day, to encourage you. They're not going to go there every day. Your audience, your customers are different. Analytics will help you to find your customers and the product will be recommended to them. That's another component, another application of recommendation. Right? So doesn't matter which background you come from, every background needs data analyst, okay? And businesses, most of the businesses, not all, but most of the business, they still don't know how to analyze data. They don't have right manpower. And that's where, I think Pujita said, right? Yes, there is a lot of demand in the market, and every industry, every company, they want people with right skill set who can come and help them to make more better decision about future. Okay, coming back to our topics. Okay, so you will generally hear words like AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, AI, ML, DL, data science. Okay, now these are different terminologies. Okay, people use it interchangeably, but technically there is a difference between them. Okay, AI is not same as ML. ML is not same as data science. Okay. So what is AI? If you see there's a written text down, AI refers to simulation of human intelligence in machine that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their action. Two things here. AI is about trying to understand, okay, how human beings think and mimic the action, both thinking and action. As a human being, we think, we act. So AI is like creating an artificial human being. Okay. Now, if I ask you one question, what is the most expensive thing in the world? Most expensive thing in the world? Diamond, platinum.
The most expensive thing in the world?
Mhm.
The most expensive thing in the world probably is like buying 100% of Apple or 100% of Amazon.
Okay.
Time.
But if you have brain, you can create, better product than Apple. Okay, better product than Amazon, isn't it? So the most expensive thing in the world is brain, human intelligence, human brain, right? So what it says is, if human intelligence is the greatest thing, okay, why not? Let's make it artificial intelligence, artificial brain, artificial thinking capability. Okay, so that's why we have artificial gold, artificial diamond, right? Because if you can't afford gold, buy artificial gold. So since as a company you can't have 10,000 people to do one kind of job, so let them creating artificial intelligence, artificial brain, which can replace 10,000 people. Now, as I said, right? If you have to analyze or if you have to recommend a product, okay, you can probably recommend. If you, let's say Amazon hires you, okay, let's say there's no machine learning, Amazon hires you to predict each individual. So you will take 5 hours, 6 hours to understand a customer, right? So every day, probably you're going to predict only for one customer or two customers. If Amazon wants to have this recommendation for all their 1 crore customer, they'll have to hire 50 lakhs people, isn't it? Who will make the predictions on every day for each of them. So instead of hiring 50 lakhs people, they'll hire one, machine learning program or project or application which will do that for Amazon, isn't it? So okay, so things which do not is not creative, something which you can automate, or something which can create using program. Why do you want to put people in this? I'll tell you, going forward. Okay, so we're talking about AI, right? So AI is about your action, okay, and thinking. So you are thinking and then you are taking action. So if you talk about robotics, okay, or IoT, these fall under AI. So in fact, our course is not AI course. Okay, our course is ML course. That's what we will talk about later. Okay, data science and ML is what we are not talking. We are thinking about the thinking part. So thinking part of AI comes from machine learning. So how do we think better? We learn, right? See, the reason you are in this class is because you want to learn something new so that you can think better when you have machine learning problems, isn't it? So machine learning is all about thinking. Okay. Artificial intelligence is machine learning, which is thinking, plus the action part. So action part we are not doing. Action part will come under your embedded systems or robotics. Okay. Pujita will be expert in that mechatronics. They can tell you what it is, So that is the action part. Okay. But our study is limited to AI, sorry, ML. Okay? We're not talking about action part. We're getting into electronics. We're getting into the robotics, okay, the action part. But how does see before robot takes an action, robot has to think, right? And that comes under machine learning. So machine learning is actually the functionality of the brain. Okay, we learn more. Okay, the 4 and 40-year example I gave you because 40-year-old has more is more learned, isn't it? Knows about the world better. When you say learning, it is also very specific to your objective, right? Specific to very specific to what the business problem is, right? Now, again, I tell this example. The same real estate problem, if I ask a 20-year-old versus 40-year-old, and if the 20-year-old has, let's say, 5 years experience in real estate, he's been working with somebody, or let's say his father or brother in real estate, and this guy is with, with them. So this 20-year-old will definitely have more real estate knowledge than 40-year-old who is maybe, let's say, a software engineer, right? The software engineer probably will have secondary information, or some bits and pieces information. This guy is in this field because of his brother or father will know more about this industry, isn't it? So we're talking about learning, okay, which is relevant data. How do you learn more? Okay, we learn using being in a classroom. Okay, and I give this example. Okay, in every session you will hear this. Whenever I talk about this slide, right, I always talk about this example. See, when you go to LKG, UKG, right, they will say that sun rises in the east, isn't it? So you will read sun rises in the east, sun rises in the east. If somebody says no, sun doesn't rise in the east, you will start fighting. No, my teacher told me sun rises in the east. Now, when you go to your 8th, 9th, 10th, you realize that no, sun doesn't rise in the east. It's Earth which goes around the sun, right? So it's we which go around the sun. Sun is stationary. But later you'll realize that even sun is also not stationary. Everything in this world, universe is moving, not world, universe is moving. Sun also moves around the Milky Way. Galaxy also moves, Earth also moves. So everything moves, right? So so what I'm saying is that that's a learning. So you learn something new every day, right? You keep learning. So machine learning is about different algorithms, and probability is the base for all this. So in our course, okay, after we do the basic tools like Python and statistics, we will learn about algorithms. We'll learn about how algorithms work, and they give us that decision-making capability. Okay, so machine learning is based on probability, and it is what we're going to do. Our course is this is what most of the course consists of. Okay. Then we have data science. Now, machine learning is subset of our AI. Okay, so AI is machine learning plus plus. Machine learning plus your action part or your embedded part, your the robotics part. Data science covers AI, ML, big data, deep learning. We'll talk about big data and deep learning sometime, plus some more. So what is that some more? So the bubble is going out of these, right? So of course, what we have discussed, all these, plus it's about statistics. It's about the domain, the business that we already spoke about it, right? So data science is all these plus few more things. Okay. So of course we cannot do everything. We are going to do about statistics in the class, and I'm going to give you on source later. I'll tell you from where you can download or not download. It's a mobile app. Okay, it's a mobile app, and you can use it to get information about various domains. Okay? When you install it, you can choose which domain to select, and it give you all the information. So it's always better to stay relevant. Okay, so now you spoke about the age, right? I'm 37, I'm 34, and somebody is 15. What is the difference between 33? Because we're going to learn same thing, right? The 15-year-old, Vanith is also going to learn same thing, and Narsaya, right? We're also going to learn same thing, right? What is the difference? How can you, as an experienced person, or as a more experienced or more aged, bring new to the table? If you talk about programming thing, right? You cannot beat the youngster. Okay. So if you talk about programming or the capabilities, Dhanit will beat both of you. Okay, because he's young and his brain works faster than everything, and he's going to be a better programmer than you both. Take it from him. But then, what is that you bring to the table? Okay, what you bring to the table is domain. Okay, what you have worked on, the knowledge I said, right? The additional knowledge, domain is important. So that's why when I was talking to, let's say, yeah, same thing. In your case also, Pujita, is that you have to build domain. How does AI/ML work in say in edtech, education tech, right? If you can build that thing, you can get into edtech, right? You have Byju's, you have Unacademy, you have multiple such edtech companies. That can be your target, right? With your background and with machine learning, that's where you need to focus. Okay? Your back, don't let your teaching background go away, right? That you have to build that as your strength. Same thing, your manufacturing experience. Build it as a strength. Focus on companies which They're looking for supply chain experience or manufacturing experience, AI ML in manufacturing, AI ML in supply chain. That's where you should target. Okay, in the domain you will definitely beat one exam, isn't it? That's yes, sir. So my thing is that focus on your strength. Okay, you have to learn all of these. That's my job. My job is to teach you statistics. My job is to teach you programming. My job is to teach you about machine learning, and I will do that. Okay, but you have to build on your strength. So, Dwanit, you cannot compete with others based on the domain, but you can compete with them based on your programming skills. So, maybe for you, programming skills should be your strength. Okay, and everything else. I'm not saying just focus on one aspect because when you want to call yourself a scientist, you have to know all these things. All these things are important, but you can't build expertise on all of these. If you can, that's great, right? But I'm sure you can't build expertise in all of these in next 3 months. And let's say after 3 months, if you spend a couple of months doing some practical also, so in 5 6 months, you can't become an expert in all the areas. So you need to know your strength and build your knowledge in that, but not living other topics. So that's why your age, as I said, doesn't matter. What matters is what you know. Of course, we assume that more age you have, you know more things, which is true. Right? You are not sitting idle at home. You did some work. Okay, use that as a strength. Okay, so that's about data science. Big data, okay, as the name suggests, right? Big data, right? Data is big. Okay, so what is big? Data doesn't come. Okay, earlier if you talked about olden days, 10 year back, 10 year back, olden days of machine learning. Yeah. So we had data mostly in the structured format, tables. Still today, maybe 70% data is in table format. But earlier it was maybe 90%. But there are other formats also, right? If you talk about Facebook, photo, Facebook video, Instagram video, right? We have data in various formats, audio, video, text, PDF, right? You have to get data from all these. The variety of sources, okay? So you have Twitter data, Facebook data, Instagram data, right? So we talk about variety of sources, we talk about volume, and we discussed earlier, right? 1 crore photos getting uploaded every hour. This is not a like just on Facebook. I'm saying, okay, it is a big data. So big data talks about data from variety of sources, high volume, velocity, at the speed that you get. Right, speed also is important. You get data, a lot of data per second, per minute. Right. So how to manage it? Big data talks about how to save all the data, how to analyze and make it ready for analysis. Analyze in the sense you're cleaning the data, massaging the data, taking out what is not relevant, only capturing what is relevant, storing it in a common place where which can be accessed by your machine learning algorithms. That's what we talk about in big data. Big data is all about managing the various data. So big data is based on the size, based on the volume, variety, okay, velocity, all these together, okay, makes data big. Okay, and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Okay, now machine learning, some of the algorithm that we talk about, like regression, is 100-year-old kind of. Okay, but some of the algorithms, okay, have been designed recently. Okay, so algorithms which are most purely based on probability, have been used for many years, right? 50 years, 100 years, 20, 30 years, kind of. Okay, people were using basically the statisticians, right? They use this skills, many years back. Okay, now we're talking about this because it is being getting adopted, and we have computers which can process large volume of data, so it has gained more prominence. Okay, but some people have been using this for many years. It's not entirely a new topic. Machine learning. We hear a lot more in last 5 years, 10 years, but something which is it's been there before. Okay, just that IT companies have started using this because we can automate a lot of things. Earlier it was mostly manual. Okay, but now you can automate it, you can use it better, you can make common people work on it. You don't need to be a PhD in statistics to work machine learning, to work in machine learning. That's the advantage now. That's why it has gained more popularity. Deep learning algorithms are based on how our brain works. It's based on the neuron, okay, neuroscience. Okay, if somebody pinches your finger, the message goes to brain. It goes to brain via neurons in the body, isn't it? So neurons are like multiple stages. So data is getting refined at every stage. So data, you have an input layer which is near your fingertip where there's someone pinching you, and the output is brain. Okay, so input of one neuron goes as sorry, the output of one neuron goes as input to another. Then that input is again processed and given output, and that output goes to third neuron as input, and that's how message passes. So the algorithm that we were talking about in deep learning is based on such concepts. Concept is same. Okay? That's how deep learning is different than machine learning. Okay? But together they are part of same machine learning. Okay. So did you get guys what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So technically these are the things that we are going to cover. Okay. Okay. Application real world. I'm not going to spend time on this. Okay. This is what we're going to cover. This will be our first slide. Then we start about our machine learning discussions. Okay. So when you say machine learning, there are two ways, or generally three ways that we learn. Okay, three ways of machine learning is one is you call it supervised learning, where you have a teacher. Okay, I give an example of sun, right? That is a supervised learning. You believe what your teacher says. Okay, what you are doing right now is supervised learning. You believe what I say. Okay, whatever I will say, whatever I do, you will believe it and you will work on it. Right? It's called supervised learning. Okay, classroom-based learning. Where so in machine learning, it means that you have a past data. Okay, what happened to land in Shamshabad? That is your input to predicting the land which you bought in, let's say, different area. Supervised learning, you have past knowledge, on that you are working on the newer thing. Unsupervised learning is where you don't have past data, but still you will be able to make some decision. The decision is based on the characteristics. Okay, so when I say 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? For that you don't need to have any past data. For land, yes, you need to have past data. But for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you don't need to have any past data, right? You're understanding the current data, the characteristics. Based on that only you are coming up with your analysis, right? So that is an approach to unsupervised learning. Nobody taught you, okay? Just for looking at it, and whatever you have already known, you are using that knowledge to predict it. Okay? That's what we do in unsupervised learning. The third one is mix of both. Okay, supervised and unsupervised, that's a mix of. The third type is called reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is based on feedback. Okay, so let's say you do something at home and your mother slaps you. Okay, why did she slap you? Because that is not good. She doesn't want you to do that. That's the feedback. Okay, so when you do something and when somebody appreciate you, that means you have to do more. Okay, that's how we learn. Okay, if somebody scolds you, says no, don't do it. Oh, something not good, and I will not do it. That's a feedback-based learning. Okay, when you play chess is a feedback-based game. Learning where you decide which coin to move or which to move where, right? So if you think, okay, if I move it here, I will lose, or I will be in a more disadvantaged position. Then you don't play. So you think, if I do this, what happens? If I put it here, what will happen? If I do it here, what will happen? If I do this, what will happen? Right? So your mind is constantly thinking, and wherever you think has the maximum benefit for you, that move you play. Right? So you are looking at the feedback. The reinforcement is like feedback-based learning. Okay? And this is the art part. Okay? You have done all the hard work, you have calculated all the statistics, you have done all the machine learning algorithm, but you have to present it to your management. You have to take a decision. Right? I said, right, this is to make decisions. You have done the statistics. Let's say you got P value, Z value, all those things you have got it. But what does that mean for a retail company? If you are working for a retail industry, let's say, what does that mean for your business? Okay? You have to create dashboards. You have to present data in a format which is understood by your team. So we will also look at data visualization. We'll do a little bit of that, not too much of that. We will do a little bit of multiple things. Our more main focus will be machine learning. We'll go deeper into machine learning, but we need various tools to learn, isn't it? So we'll focus on other aspects as well. So this course is based on these things. We'll talk about first what we just did. Okay, is like introduction. Then we'll talk about Python programming, statistics, analytics. Analytics we'll do based using Excel. Okay, so analytics is what has happened. So statistics, if you see, there are two types of statistics. It's called descriptive statistics, and it's called inferential statistics. Descriptive means what has already happened. Who is my top performing salesperson? Which customer is giving you maximum benefit? Who's my top customer? Right? These are data that will derive based on past data. So analytics is based on descriptive statistics, what has already happened. Inferential statistics is about predicting. So you see something, okay? Inferential statistics will have your sample data and population data. So based on the sample data, we are trying to predict for the entire population. Okay, we use probability at the base. So so that is what machine learning is about. And of course, we need tools. So we'll do Python. So we'll do again more extensive on Python. Or we will probably spend 2-3 days to see how R works. Okay, but our main learning will be using Python. We'll do SQL. SQL is to connect the database, get the data and process. Right. So how to connect to the database and get information. So SQL is more important from big data perspective, but we'll learn how to use it. And finally, Tableau to present the data. We can do that in using Python. Python can do everything. Okay, but we will learn a little bit of Tableau so that you know what Tableau is, how to use it for visualization. That will be our last topic. Okay, so this is what I had planned as an introduction session. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.